these next two stories I got, family, they come out of Bmore. You know what I mean? Some nonsense is going on down there in Bmore, and we gonna get into, this race soldier, trying to run down one of our brothers, in a police cruiser. He actually hit the brother, but he didn't unalive him, but he damn sure, tried to unalive our brother. If you ask me, he was running him, through the streets, he ran through a field, it could even be seen him hitting our brother, and now he's on paid leave. He should be locked up and sitting in a damn jail cell for attempted murder and a whole host of other charges, you know what I mean? But it shows you how the system of racism, white supremacy looks out for and coddles and pampers their own, because he tried to run down our brother, you know what I mean? And luckily another brother was there that recorded the whole thing and got, the footage, and the footage went viral. So, we're going to be walking through and talking about that. I got the audio and video of it, and we're going to play it. Fair use.
Tonight, we're hearing from the man who recorded this viral video showing...
This is nonsense right here, though. This got me really heated. You know what I mean? He tried to kill our brother, He was running him all crazy. The brother ducking and dodging. He even hit our brother, Luckily, he didn't unalive our brother with this nonsense.
A Baltimore police officer trying to run over someone with his patrol car in Park Heights. Fox 45's Keith Daniels has been following this story all night.
He joins us live now with an update from police and the community's concerns. Keith.
Well, Maxine and Kai, we've learned the identity of the officer involved in that incident, the man seen running in that video.
Good. They got that Peckerwood race soldiers, name, so, we can make sure, they're going to try to sweep it under the rug, but we on the black grassroots got to make sure that they don't sweep stuff like this under the rug, that we put it on full display in the public lexicon, because they got a lot of nonsense going on with these race soldiers nowadays. But let's continue.
Video says the officer's patrol car struck him, and tonight, the man who caught it on camera.
You gonna hit him with the car? Yo, what the bro? Yo, hell no, yo.
For some, it's simply hard to believe. Look at it. A Baltimore City police officer caught on video trying to run down a man.
If I ain't have it on camera, nobody would have knew.
Slick Brown is the one who...
And can you imagine how many times these degenerate, racist, white supremacist race soldiers in uniform get away with this nonsense, to where, though it's not people around recording their heinous actions? You could only imagine.
Who captured the images with his cell phone camera. The video now gone viral.
Almost 1 million views.
With nearly 1 million views at this hour on social media.
Yo, what the bro?
His friend running, the officer in his marked patrol cruiser, chasing him.
Coming, Ray hit my man, like, for no reason. It's like he ain't even make no arrest for real. Like, he just tried to automatically hit him. Like, he ain't never tried to chase him or nothing. Like, it's like he was just trying to kill my man out the rip. Like, he ain't care about his life or nothing.
See, that's the problem. These racist, white supremacist race soldiers, they don't give a damn about no black life. You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
It happened Tuesday evening on Wiley Avenue near Park Heights Avenue. Tonight, police confirming the identity of the officer seen in the video. Robert A. Parks, on the force since 2020.
Good. That damn racist, white supremacist race soldier need brought up on some charges. But from what I'm hearing, he on a paid administrative leave. That's a vacation. That's a slap on the wrist. He need to be, put in a jail cell. That's where he should be, not on no damn paid leave.
Reddit.
Leave.
His police powers.
That's attempted murder. You know what I mean? He done struck our brother. He could have potentially killed him. If our brother would have fell. Imagine if our brother would have tripped and fell. Him, hitting the throttle just coming at our brother. Our brother would have went up under that truck. That truck would have ran right over him.
Suspended now on administrative duty as an internal affairs investigation is underway. Police Commissioner Richard Worley Thursday on the behavior of one of his officers.
It is not what we want our officers doing. It is definitely not what we've been training them to do. And unfortunately, one bad incident like this sets you back months and years to all the progress that we made.
Brown said it all started after the officers saw him and his friends standing on the block. They were told to move on. Brown said they did, but then the officer returned.
2 minutes later, he pulled straight back.
See, they don't patrol these, these suburb, white enclaves like that. The police, you know what I mean? They up police force and surveillance in these, black neighborhoods. And I don't, rock with that. You know what I mean? And, as soon as they see, black folks on the corner, standing. They could just be talking to their friends. They want to automatically assume they in the gang slanging drugs. That's a bunch of nonsense. In these white enclaves, if they see white people gathered on the corner, they don't harass them, jump out, stop and frisk them, chase them down. You know what I mean? That's a bunch of nonsense. It shows you the injustice in the so-called justice system. There ain't no justice in the so-called justice system. If you got the complexion for the protection 9 times out of 10, you're going to get looked out for, coddled, and pampered.
Man, my man's about, he straight asked my man, he yeah, come here. But he never said why, though.
According to initial reports,
the individual wanted for a warrant. He got away.
The man seen in the video was wanted for an outstanding warrant. On the phone with Brown at one point.
And they could have just been saying he was wanted for an outstanding warrant. You know what I mean? Them race soldiers, they always say, he fit the description. You know what I mean? He resisted. These are just typical talking points that race soldiers throw out there, to target black life.
He says he had a failure to appear in court for driving without a license. Meantime, the investigation of the officer.
All he did was get suspended. No, I think he should be fired. Shouldn't become.
I'm in alignment and agreement with that, brother. All he did was get suspended, and they still paying him. He should be fired and sitting up in a jail cell, and not be able to be a police officer anymore because, he got a racial bias, and his racial bias is he got an affinity to racism, white supremacy, because you could bet your last damn dollar that if that was a white person, congregating on the corner, just talking, shooting the breeze, he wouldn't have jumped out, stopped and harassed them like that.
Able to come back or nothing.
Well, Brown called the man in the video with me. He says he's banged up a bit with a knee injury. Meantime, that crash ended with the officer slamming.
That brother who got chased, though, he got a hefty lawsuit. He need to seek out good legal representation. You know what I mean? I know money ain't everything, but, that kind of nonsense, the police force should be on the hook for, and they hurt his leg, you know what I mean? So they should be, entitled to, all the pain and suffering, his doctor bills, and he probably going to be out of work and things like that.
Slamming into the backyard fence of an elderly woman's home. She told me she's already received the paperwork from the city for repairs. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Yeah, that's a bunch of nonsense, though, family. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.